In this video, I'm going to cover the last two rounds of the Emerging Technologies course items. The first one is the technology rotations. So to view the technology rotation information, you're going to go to Submit Assignments in your course link, and then you'll come to the Submit Assignments page. You'll see we still have the Web 2.0 book assignments going on, but we also have the technology rotation and Capstone project. So I'm going to click on the technology rotation. In the technology rotation folder, you have three items. You have an overview of what the technology rotation is about. Then you have the two rotations that are part of this assignment, or part of this project. The Dragon technology rotation and the video web conference. So let me go ahead and click on the instructions first. Okay, so the technology rotation is just going to take you through two areas. You're going to be working with Dragon Naturally Speaking, which is voice recognition software, and then we'll be working with some web conference applications as well. So you can read through this on your own, but basically the purpose of this rotation is to expose you to some areas that you may not have had much use in the past or have not been exposed to in other courses or on the job. So you will be working independently, but if you want to work with others in the classroom, that is perfectly fine. You're welcome to work together as long as what you do as far as the work is your own work. You will be working on Dragon and video web conferencing tools. Keep in mind that the due date is later on in the semester, so please refer to your schedule document for the due dates, although I highly recommend that you start working on it no later than week 12. The Dragon technology rotation, you will find the instructions as you had seen previously underneath the Submit Assignments, Technology Rotations, Dragon folder. And then this just explains what the Dragon technology rotation is about. Dragon is the name of the software that we use for voice recognition. Then you have the video web conference technology rotation, and we'll be going over several different tools on video web conferencing. So again, just read through this document first, have fun with it. Let me go ahead and close this out. Then what you're going to do, whichever one of the two you choose to do first is up to you. You don't have to do them in the order that I have it listed here. So if you want to start on the the video web conference technology rotation, you can do that first. If you want to go ahead and do the Dragon, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Dragon technology rotation just to get this information covered in the order it's listed. But again, you don't have to work on these two rotations in the order. Alright, so for the Dragon rotation, you want to go ahead and download the instructions. Ignore this letter A. Okay, Dragon Naturally Speaking, again, that's the software that we're going to be using. You'll see the list of student outcomes, the required equipment. You will need to have access to Dragon Naturally Speaking software, the internet, and a mic and headphone set. Now, my IT department at Cincinnati State is working on getting Dragon online through the virtual desktop interface, which is what was considered our old virtual lab. They're still having some issues with it because of the resources that the software uses. It's unlike some other software that you may have used through Microsoft Office. This is actually a software through Nuance. So currently, as of the publication of this video, Dragon Naturally Speaking is only located in room 333. So in order to do this rotation, you'll have to come on campus. I will send out a room schedule with the classroom availability beyond our current schedule. So if you have a class, let's say on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3:30 to 5:30, the room will be available. If you have a class on Wednesday nights, the room will be available. Please make sure you contact me 48 hours in advance, because I will have to provide you with an envelope that contains these instructions along with the computer number that you need to sit at, because only certain computers in room 333 have the software on it. And I will also include a mic headset for you as well. So the assignment steps below are the steps you'll need to follow in order. Please do not deviate from these steps. You need to do it in this order. The rotation should take no more than 3 to 6 hours, depending on your skill sets. Scheduling the room time, again, I've indicated that I've added some additional times in the room, and they've already been published, so please make sure you check the announcements. Step A. You can do Step A at home, so you do not have to come on campus to do Step A. So I would say prior to actually coming on campus and using the Dragon Naturally Speaking software, go ahead and go through Step A first. You'll want to visit this website, and I have the instructions on what you need to be clicking on in order to go through any demos of the software. Then you'll go through the interactive tutorial that's located on Nuance's website as well. Now once you're done with Step A, then this is when you'll need to come into the classroom. And that will be Step B, getting started. The first thing you always do is you set up your user profile. A user profile is just listening to your voice so that the software can pick up on your dialect and pronunciation. So I have the steps listed here on getting started and creating your profile. Once you actually launch Dragon Naturally Speaking, it'll be an icon on the desktop of the computer assigned to you. Based on the packet you're given, it'll have a computer number. So once you start the Dragon Naturally Speaking, it will actually start you through the process of creating your profile. Then you'll want to do a little bit of practice with the software. Just start talking, opening up Microsoft Word and dictating some letters. Then when we get to Step C, these are the application assignments that you'll be doing, again, on the software. So Step B and Step C you will need in the classroom to do this. So the first thing you'll do is you'll launch Word, and you can try to do it through Dragon Naturally Speaking. The way you would say it would be start Microsoft Word. Then you're going to go ahead and dictate letter A. Now letter A will be in that packet, but just in case it's not, in case somebody takes it out, or the instructions, you can go ahead and retrieve it from the course link in Blackboard in the Dragon Naturally Speaking rotation folder. Then you'll also dictate a memo to me. So the first one is a letter that I already have for you that you'll just be reading from. The second one will be basically freelance. You'll be dictating a memo to me, and I indicate what you need to be saving your files. As far as the file names, I highly suggest you create a folder underneath the technology rotation called Dragon. Save these files in there. That way you can zip the Dragon folder and submit the assignment through the assignment link in Blackboard. Then you'll also be launching Internet Explorer and doing some navigation on your own. Again, don't get hung up on this one where if it's not doing exactly what you're saying, there is in the help menu in Dragon, you can pull down some tidbits on what to say on how to get things to work for you in Dragon. So just scratch that, delete that, select that. But, again, do your best. This is not something where I'm expecting it's going to be graded as an A, B, C, D, or F. It's either you did it or you didn't do it. And I just want you to relax and enjoy the experience on maybe to see, not only how difficult it is to do it, but also some of the benefits and advantages. Then the last thing you're going to do is going to submit your Dragon folder. So I'll go ahead and close this. The Dragon folder will be submitted through the Dragon assignment link. Now, to actually go out to the website for Nuance, I went ahead and created a link for you. So this is where you would go, and then you would do the Get Started. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Then I do have a video on how to get started with Dragon, so you may want to click on this link. Let me go ahead and close it out. So I would suggest you do both of these before you actually start working on Part B and C. I am providing you with some additional supporting materials. There's a user book and an install user's guide. The user book might be more beneficial than the user guide. So that's the Dragon rotation. And again, this is all part of the technology rotation. You have two things we're doing, the last leg of the race here in the class, technology rotation and the capstone. The second part of the technology rotation is the video web conference. And you have the instructions just like you had with the Dragon. And again, you want to read through this. We're going to actually be working on three different applications. The first one is Hangout. And some of you folks may already have experience with some of these. When you are doing the first one, Hangout, make sure you read these instructions carefully because you will be doing screenshots and saving to a file called web conference and then your name. And you will need to do a Hangout session. You're welcome to do a Hangout session with me or your classmate or somebody else. Then we'll be working with Skype and then Adobe Connect. Now, everybody has been given host permissions in Adobe Connect, so please make sure that when you click on the online meeting Adobe link in Blackboard, don't log in as a guest. You need to make sure that you log in as a user with your username and password, and it will be your Cincinnati State username and your Cincinnati State password. You will have to use the @Cincinnati State when you're logging in, and you'll see that part of the documentation with Adobe Connect. And then when you're done, you're going to zip your video web conference folder and submit it. So if you're going to do Google Hangout first, you want to click on Google Hangout, and I'm providing you with some instructions, written instructions, and then a video on how to use Google Hangout. Same thing with Skype. When you're ready to do Skype, click on Skype, and you'll see the written instructions on how to install Skype, and you'll see a quick video on using Skype. Same thing with Adobe Connect. You'll go ahead and get the written instructions and then a video on how to use Adobe Connect. And I do want to point out one item with the login. You want to make sure after you click on the link, in our course link in Blackboard, when you come to this screen, do not sign in as a guest. You want to click on the enter with your login and password. And then this is where you're going to key in your username and password. And it is important that you use the @cincinnati-state.edu. And then when you're done with all three applications, you will come here and click on Video Web Conference Assignment and submit your file. Now, if you do need to use a webcam, you're welcome to use one of the webcams that I have for this course. Please contact me 48 hours in advance so I can leave it for you at the front desk in the business division. You will need to do an installation of the software. So again, this is where you would go to get that installation or to get the software so you can install the webcam. And that is the technology rotation. Now, to get to the Capstone, we're going to click on Capstone Project. And the Capstone Project, I have the instructions, I have presentation preparation list, the 2 evaluation forms that you will be completing at the end of the presentation, and then where you'll be uploading any presentation files. So let me go ahead and click on the instructions for the Capstone. Okay, so the purpose of this Capstone project is you will be assigned a team member and you will create a presentation on applications and technologies to be shared with colleagues. You'll research a variety of apps and technologies that a company can use for collaboration, sharing, marketing, saving money, etc. So there's no specific item I'm asking you to look up or to use. It is an open source, so you find what you want and present if you feel that it's something that you can use or somebody can use in the workplace. So just a quick overview. Your team will research a variety of apps and technologies that a company can use for collaboration, customer experience, saving money, etc. This list is open. You will grade yourself and your partner throughout this process. Grading will be based on team collaboration, individual contribution, and effective use of applications findings, presentation appearance, content, meeting deadlines that the team sets, and presentation skills. A variety of technologies will be used to complete this project, decide how to get organized, and to communicate. Then you can go ahead and read the objectives and the general instructions as well. Now, the requirements for the project itself is your presentation must contain the following. We need a title, member names, description of one application or technology. So you're not doing 2, one application. I want you both to decide which one, do your research, and then go ahead and create the presentation. Make sure in your presentation you provide a URL to the application and technology. If possible, the application, technology, and use. This could be a video that you find on the website. It can be a video that you find at other sites as well. Make sure you have a description of how it can be used for business and personal use, and obviously what is it, and the advantages and disadvantages of the tool or application. Now, you will be presenting this in a virtual meeting. So you will be presenting to the class on the last class meeting, and that's listed in the schedule. So ignore any dates you may see in here if this is not the current semester listing. So again, keep in mind, look at your schedule. Make sure you're logged in 15 minutes before the meeting. Now, if I'm not there, don't worry. I'll be getting there. I'm probably just transitioning from one class or meeting to another. I will create a meeting room for each team member, so that will be happening shortly. So each team will have a meeting room that only your team will be using, and it will be located in our course link in Blackboard in the Capstone Project folder. And again, this will be used only for you and your team, your partner. It will not be used the day of the presentation. The day that we'll be doing the presentation, you'll be going to the online meeting Adobe link in Blackboard. Again, these meeting times and locations may be different than yours if you're viewing this video at a later date than when it was published. So make sure you're looking at your schedule. If you want to come into the classroom for the meeting, you're welcome to do so, but we will still be meeting virtually. So I will have some of the webcams on the computers. You'll have to go ahead and do the installation, so make sure you get there early to do that. Please make sure you notify me 40 hours in advance if you plan on participating in the meeting in the classroom rather than from the comforts of your home. What I would suggest you do next is get organized, so exchange contact information. You can find your team members' email through the course link in Blackboard by just clicking on Tools, Send Email, and then you can go ahead and select the individual, and you'll get a list of those that are in the classroom, and you can find them from that list. As far as the grading, 80% will be the project grade itself, 10% member grade, and 10% team evaluations. And then you'll see the teams listed below. I'm not going to show them just because this video may be used for future classes, and I don't want to see the list of names. But you'll also find at the bottom of this last page, the teams page, you will also find just some suggestions of categories and maybe a site or two that you may want to go to for topics. So when it's time to get started, one of the things I would suggest you do is look at the Capstone preparation list. Go ahead and get that closed. And then the evaluations will not be available until right before we get ready to do our presentation. So this will be closed, but this is where they'll be located. And then this link is where you're going to actually upload your file, which is your presentation file, whether you choose to use Prezi, PowerPoint, or what have you. So that is an overview of the technology rotation and the Capstone project. Have fun with it. If you have any questions, please contact me.